Alright, what is up guys? Welcome back to another Last Epoch video. Today I'm going to be showcasing my build on my Primalist Beastmaster. And it's basically an Earthquake Wolf Pack build. So we'll go ahead and we'll jump in here to this Cemetery of the Erased. I just started the in-game system in Last Epoch, so fairly early on for this character. It's not like really any challenging content, but more just to kind of show you how the build works, and give you an idea of, you know, how it compares to your character. So like I said, this is an Earthquake build, and the main damaging skill is Earthquake. So we'll see if we can find, you know, some rare monsters here, but basically I can one-shot almost anything with Earthquake. The only caveat to that being that it has a very high mana cost. So I do have I have Gathering Storm basically set up to regenerate my mana. And so that works fairly well. I'll show you all the different, you know, passives and skill trees after we quickly clear this map, just so you can kind of see what the clear speed is. So as you can see, we just, you know, kind of one-shot everything with that. Yep, there we go. Glyph of Despair. Interesting. I do think Last Epoch has, like, the most user-friendly and, you know, crafting system of the major, or just ARPGs that are currently available. The reason for that being just because you can actually successfully craft what you want, but there are limitations to the crafting, so it's not just a one and done kind of thing. There is a lot of, you know, a little bit of randomness to it. There's some trial and error. There's some luck involved, but it is just much more. And you know, you can see I just, you know, one shot that rare monster, and we just one-shot that rare monster. But yeah, so there is some randomness to the crafting, but you can, you know, playing as a solo self-bound character, get at least all of the affixes that you want onto your gear, and to me that is huge. And then you're just kind of more playing like you're chasing that top-end gear with how it works with, like, the purple items, and then the legendary crafting, and now the set crafting. So there's just lots of, you know, lots more depth to the system than, let's say, like your Path of Exile 2, even your PoE 1. I mean, PoE 1, it was just very much like, unless you were significantly wealthy in the game, you couldn't even really participate in the crafting system, other than just, like, you could use your workbench to put one affix per slot of gear. Alright, so we are almost clear. We'll clear this, and then I'll kind of show you the skills before we go down into the cemetery. But yeah, so everything is just kind of on this build set up to make my Earthquake, like, as powerful as possible. Because really the trash mobs, as in every ARPG, are just kind of, like, meaningless. You can really kill like all trash mobs with just about any ability fairly quickly. It's more like the rare monsters and the boss monsters and the you know, magic or blue monsters that are going to potentially be a problem or slow down your clear speed. So the more that we can excuse me. Oh, that's pretty good. So yeah, there's these new idols. The new idol system is pretty cool. So I think we just got this little area here, and then we're gonna go back over to the cemetery. We'll take a look at the skills, etc. Okay. I guess there's a monster back here. Alright, so let's go ahead and I'll just show you the gear real quick. It's nothing spectacular. You know, a lot of it's like low-level stuff. That just kind of shows you how, like, this is a level 2 ring. Just kind of shows you how strong the build is overall. These are probably the two best pieces of gear that I have, alongside this weapon. It works very well. So the main thing is Earthquake. It gives you 700% added melee damage effectiveness. So anything that gives you plus melee damage is going to just be a massive increase to your damage. Like, I've had weapons with like 300% increased physical damage, and it still does not do as much damage as something with like a large added melee damage such as this. So that's a look at the gear. We won't really look at the idols because you know, those are just kind of whatever. Looking at the passive tree, so we've got just, you know, all my abilities scale off strength and attunement, and I really like this ability here. This is good. I think like the attunement gives you mana and damage scaling, and all these resist is good. Strength and health regeneration, that's also good. And then this was, I think, really huge. Just the life leech for myself and the minions. Basically, they never die. You have to put 15 points into the shaman tree to get Earthquake, so whatever you feel like is most beneficial, but I took attunement, and then this gives you penetration. It also gives you physical penetration, which that's huge. This is, again, just some increased health. Really the only reason we took it is for that 5-point bonus. Mana gained on Gathering Storm hit, so you get 5 mana from that when you hit with Gathering Storm. And then we just put these last couple points here into attunement to get us to the 15, so that we have Earthquake. And then over here in the Beastmaster tree, the Beastmaster tree is pretty amazing in my opinion. I think when I made this character, Druid was not available yet. Some of these are okay, but I don't know if I would actually like pick them up. I think this one here is like the best looking node to me, from what I could get. But you would have to put 5 points into one of these, and I don't really know, like, this wouldn't really benefit me because I'm not casting a spell. Unless the abilities I don't think they count as spells, so I don't think it would really do anything for me. This isn't, this just says elemental penetration, so that wouldn't really help me, so this wouldn't really help me a lot either. It'd just be a little bit more armor. So I'm just going really probably fully into the Beastmaster tree. Potentially, if I switch back to axes, I could get this, because the added damage does give you so much extra damage. It's just the physical damage seems to benefit me a lot more than the cold damage for a mace. So anyways, looking back at the Beastmaster tree here, so we've got this. These are all 1-point wonders in my opinion. With potentially, like, it almost gives you 100% uptime on Aspect of the Shark. You've got a 3-point, basically a 3.5 every 5 seconds you get 3.5 seconds of aspect of the shark, which is 75% melee damage, 10% attack speed. There is a node down here that increases them all by 10%. Whether or not that's worth investing in, I'm not entirely sure yet, because I'm, really the only one that it would impact is that. Like, I could take points out of this, and put it all, put them into this, but then we'll just have to see. So anyways, these, in my opinion, are all 1-point wonders. And then we put this to get aspect of the boar up to 5-second duration. Don't really need bleed, so I didn't get that or that. We got this for the strength and the health regen for myself, and the health regen scaling off of strength. This gave me a ton of extra damage. Like, picking this up increased my earthquake DPS by like 10,000, or 5 or 10,000. It was kind of crazy. And then this, just to give you extra benefits from aspect of the boar, it basically gives you, so it gives you, I think, 15% damage reduction, and then this gives you an additional, I believe, 15% damage reduction. So you're up to 30. And then I've put this to get the maximum companions +1. We'll talk about why here in a second. It has to do with just having additional wolves. And then I'm putting some points into this because increased melee attack speed for myself and my companions is really good. Other things that might be decent is if you really need, like, physical resist, which I'm just going to try and get it off gear, like possibly this. Possibly Cry of the Lynx, but my crit chance is so low already that it doesn't really do much for me at the moment. And once we get to the end of the tree, I'll be putting 10 points into this because 1 strength and 1 melee physical damage for my character is going to be huge. Huge earthquake damage. Aside from that, there's not really much else here that would be that good. Like, I could pick this up for additional vitality. So once I get, this maxed out and this maxed out, I'll be close to like level 80. So then at that point, the build is probably more or less done, and you're just kind of fine-tuning. So looking at the skills, we have Gathering Storm, Summon Wolf, what's this one called? Warcry, Earthquake, and Fury Leap. So looking at Gathering Storm, the main point of this is it's just generating mana for myself, and we've switched it over to physical damage so that it's shredding physical, like it's shredding armor, and then we're getting mana gain per storm stack. So we've got the 5 mana on hit plus this generating mana, so that's good. We've got increased AoE, and we've got the increased attack speed just for the more mana regenerate. And then we picked up a couple things over here, so we've got a chance to get haste from it, which is also good. And looking at Summon Wolf, so Summon Wolf, if you go over here and over here, you can have wolves up to your companion limit. So plus this lets you summon like 2 more wolves, and this lets you summon up to your companion limit, so you've already got 2 companions. So this is 4, and this gives you 4 wolves, and then with that 1 extra companion from the Beastmaster tree, now I have 5 wolves. And the Warcry, or the Howl, from your wolves gives you a 25% more melee damage multiplier, and that's a multiplier. So if you see here, we're at about 51k DPS, and with Warcry now we're at 63.5. So huge damage buff there. And when you get this, your wolves have a chance to howl when they hit rare or boss enemies, and it's a 4% chance, but with 5 wolves attacking and with the increased attack speed from like aspect of the Viper for them, hopefully we're going to be getting a lot of howls from that. And then also we are going to pick up this as well. So just when I kill an enemy, one of the wolves has a chance to howl. And then also, it's going to give us more melee damage, another 10% more, and it's also going to give us attack speed. So I will need to get like one more plus one more point into Summon Wolf, or I would need to take off Frozen Fangs. But I do think Frozen Fang is pretty good because it turns their attack into like sort of an AoE attack, and then just gives them a lot of extra damage. So, but we'll probably just spec out of it and go into here, to be quite honest. Unless I have like the points, because I'm not sure with like my damage scaling at this point if having it as like cold is gonna help or not. But we will see. So, and then it's all, I guess it's also got 200% added damage effectiveness, so that's not bad. So looking next at Warcry, we've basically turned this into a self buff and heal. So we've got up here just to get to this. So while it's on cooldown, critical strikes have a chance to use Warcry for you, which you know, probably isn't going to happen a whole lot. But when you have Warcry, your crit chances increase by 50%. So, you know, that's something. And like I said, I probably, once I max this out, I will be getting this. Just to get the like increased critical strike chance, because that is quite a bit of extra crit. So that'll like synergize well. And then coming down here, these are the big things. So we're invulnerable for 1 second after using Warcry. We're also invulnerable while we're using Fury Leap, so that's, you know, a little bit of extra survivability and invulnerability. Coming over here, so we get Berserk. So Berserk is a very good buff when fighting a boss that you can't one-shot. Most of the bosses I kill very quickly, but this just is like a stacking buff every time you hit them. And then this gives you extra attack speed and a maximum attack speed, I guess, increase. Over here, it heals me 100 health. It removes any negative ailments on me, and it also heals my wolves. So that's heals them for the same amount as Breath of Eterra, which is like a fairly significant heal. And then up here, I got this because I want it to pull them towards me, not knock them away, because if it knocks them away, my Earthquake won't hit them as well. And then looking over here at Earthquake, so big thing here with Earthquake is Seismic Tide. So it makes the initial hit occur 3 times, and it consumes mana each time. Each hit gets progressively larger and does more damage. It also changes let's see. Okay, so this one here changes the aftershock damage to affect the initial slam, so I can pick this up and it gives me like a more damage multiplier for Earthquake. And then over here we've got 100% more hit damage against rare and boss enemies. So that's pretty huge. And then we've got larger AoE over here, and we just have this, pick this up for a little extra damage, so that we could get that. And now that I'm looking at this, with the way that this multiplies, it probably makes more sense for me to spec, you know, out of... I don't really want to do it because it's going to de-level, like, my skill. But I could have put these points over here and got a higher total base damage that hits everything. And then got this over here. But when I first leveled this up, I don't know, they may have, like, rebalanced some stuff since I initially made this character. So that's Earthquake for you. Over here, Fury Leap, more just like a mobility thing. Trash killing skill, we've got Violent Upheaval. Gives us a little extra crit damage, just you had to get that to get over there. And when we land, we gain some additional melee damage. We get Frenzy when we land, so extra attack speed. And over here, you get a more multiplier damage and recovery speed increase. We've got, if we're landing and hitting enemies at full health, extra damage. This is the big one. It just pulls enemies closer. And we're immune to damage while leaping. Less mana cost and larger area. So that will be all of the skills that we're using. So now that you've kind of seen that, and we're going to go ahead and jump into the cemetery here.
Past my silken vestments.
Oh, that wasn't even a monster. I'm kind of like stuck. There we go. But yeah, with all of the life leech and the health regen, it does make a pretty big difference. As far as just like the survivability, I can just mostly sustain through. Yeah, it's pretty fun to just like walk up and one-shot stuff like that. And then you can see my wolves. Like, I haven't lost any wolves. They just kind of do their own thing, and they're pretty effective, to be quite honest. Alright, we're gonna break a couple things down here, just to make some space. That we don't even need. Sorry about this. Just ran out of inventory space. May have to stop and do that again here before too long. Oh, good. We've got a nemesis here, which is very helpful. Helps with the gearing. And I think this is, yep. So we're gonna get, I've been wanting to get this helmet here. Ooh, oh, this is a really good helmet for me. And then I can craft over the 46% damage over time while transformed with like a plus to earthquake. Alright. That is huge. I don't really know what this would be good for, but we'll take it. And then this is a mage helmet. So not really needing the mage helmet, but that's definitely going to be pretty solid. Alright. So definitely want the helmet. I mean, we're going to take the shield. We're going to take the boots. I don't really think I need that at all, to be honest. I guess it sells more than that other one, so we'll go ahead and pick it up. The other nice thing about this build, with all the gear stuff I have a very quick move speed. So we've got swiftness from one of the items that I have, which is a nice move speed buff. Yeah, the other thing with the leaps, Fury Leap, is you can, you know, kind of keep your Berserk stacks up, because they don't last very long. So you do have to kind of, like, quickly move from, you know, one enemy that you're hitting to the next. But yeah, you can see why the attack speed is important, because when I've got, like, my attack speed buffs, you really are able to quickly regenerate the mana that you need.
No room.
Alright, we're gonna get rid of some more junk here. I haven't fully set up my loot filter yet. Like, I've done a little bit of tweaking on it, but it's still not, you know, efficient. Yeah, you can see, like, the wolves make quick work of trash, so they do help with, like, your clear speed, which is nice. And we can, you know, quickly make work of... Ooh. We can quickly make work of... Man, everything I find, like, I have so much void resistance from this that it's, like, almost, you know, close to capped. And I keep finding, like, stuff that's, giving me more void resistance, and I don't really necessarily need it. Alright. Let's take a look here at our forging thing. Oh, that's not the forging thing. I think I want this one, because that's way better than that. Like, they're gonna life steal for me, which is pretty good. And it's got more physical damage, so that's good. That one's not bad, because, like, the plus 1% crit chance for the wolves is actually, like, a plus... Like, they have a base 5%, so plus a flat 1% is, like, a 20% increase. So it's really not, like, not bad, to be honest. Let me just double check my stash real quick and make sure I don't have any other ones that I was wanting. Yeah, nothing that great here, so we're definitely gonna go ahead and enchant that one. %1 increased frostbite duration. I don't really want I don't really want Frostbite, I think. That doesn't really do anything for me. It's just like cold damage over time. We're gonna go. Oh, re-enchant. Cost memory amber. Ah, man. Well, I mean, I guess we'll go ahead and we'll just level it and see what it happens to get. Let's go ahead and find another thing here to enchant. And then, you know, this is like another nice little like in-game system to mess around with, so that's kind of cool. 8% chance to cast an avalanche boulder on a spell cast. I don't have any spells. This one's actually wouldn't be bad because of the physical resist. I don't really mind the poison chance on hit. Like, it's not... Oh, actually, I was looking at... Yeah, I remember now. I was thinking about this one. Because I definitely spend way more than 10 mana. And just, like, casting lightning and my minions bleeding. Like, that actually could be pretty cool, potentially. Okay. That's not bad. The only issue is, like, when I have, I'd have to take out, like, you know, a few things to fit that in. Which, do we ever get this idle slot in the middle there? Oh, okay. So it looks like you never get that one in the middle, so that's mildly annoying, but that's okay. So we're gonna go ahead and finish clearing this out here. We just want to... I don't know if I want to really use any more of these in this starter zone. I think I'm gonna probably hang on to them, because this is just like the starter zone. But we can throw a couple things in here. Yeah, I don't really know if that's like... I don't think I'm gonna... Okay. That should be enough room, hopefully. Oh man, I didn't get any of the physical damage shards off that. Alright, we got some more memory, whatever it's called. Alright, one of our new idols got upgraded. Huh, a 15 armor, level 15 helmet. That's kind of interesting that it's dropped in this area, but okay. Alright, so we've cleared the area, guys. Which one got upgraded? So increased minion cast speed, not really helpful. So that might be one that I do re-enchant later on, but maybe we'll have something better to try and enchant anyways. This might be one that I use more like if I make a caster, but I'll probably test it out anyways just to see how it works, because I am kind of curious now. But that's going to be the video, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments below, and remember to give them the D.